Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Women's Magazine, a program that looks at issues that affect women, their achievements and contributions towards national development. In our tonight's edition, we will take a look at the Gambia was a host of a grand event, that is the Women in Leadership Conference. The program aimed at uniting, networking and mobilizing women in order to achieve their development targets. In our second segment, we will take a look at the proprietaries of Trezor, the Closet and Beyond, and the founder of Yes, We Can Read program and the organizer of the Night of Excellence. I am Fatoumata Simaha. Thank you for joining us.
Women in Leadership host a variety of events each year aimed at advancing women in leadership roles in the workplace and in their lives. The Gambia was a host to this mega event, which is meant to unite women in Africa. The Women in Leadership Foundation creates inspirational programs that bring women together in developing their leadership skills and creating positive change in the future of women in leadership in Africa. Through our national mentorship program, women share their knowledge and leadership skills with other women in a one-on-one environment. It was a gathering of women from different walks of life and was chaired by the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, who deputized for the Vice President and Women's Affairs Minister. Madam Bai said it is an opportunity for all women to take their rightful places at home and as nation builders.
Empowerment of women is recognized and advocated for by international agencies such as the United Nations in terms of their full involvement on the basis of equality in all spheres of society, including participation in decision-making processes and access to power as fundamental for the achievement of equality, development and peace in order to advance women's status in all aspects of life. This is important because equity and equality are crucial elements that can determine women's level of welfare as compared to their male counterparts. Madam Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, women's empowerment is a process of enabling women who are denied the ability to exercise strategic life choices to be able to make such choices to better their lives. This means having access and future claims over required resources, material, human, and social, to be able to take active part in decision-making, be able to negotiate and have bargaining power as well as well-being as a result of their achievements. More often, women empowerment is advocated for and incorporated in many policies, but many a time words are not matched by actions. Thus, Her Excellency's call for action and impact. Women, particularly rural poor, continue to lag behind men in terms of decision-making, access to and control over resources, which makes it difficult to improve their livelihoods in relation to their male counterparts. In this respect, the African continent faces special challenges in terms of women taking up decision-making positions, access to education, employment, and health services, amongst others. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, statistics show that in the Gambia, women make up about 65% of the agricultural labor force, and more than 80% of these live in the rural areas. The industry remains the main source of employment and livelihood. For most women in the rural areas who continue to play a paramount role in food and agricultural production, hunger and poverty eradication, and make very significant contributions to guaranteeing food security for their households and families, communities, and the entire nation at large.
It is time for action. It is therefore a privilege today to see a conference responding to her call and hosted by civil society organizations. I want to refer back to the Beijing Platform for Action. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that valuable document, to which all United Nations member states, and almost all of them that I know are represented here, stated at the Fourth World Conference in 1995, and I want to quote, "We hereby adopt and commit ourselves as governments to implement the Platform for Action, ensuring that a gender perspective is reflected in all our policies and programs. We urge the United Nations system, regional and international financial institutions, other relevant regional and international institutions, as well as women and men of the world and NGOs to work with government with full respect of the autonomy of national development organizations and NGOs and all sectors of civil society, working in cooperation with governments to fully commit themselves to contribute to the implementation of the Platform of Action." I close quote. I'm referring to this quote because I want to salute the government of Gambia for cooperating with civil society and the specific NGO that is hosting this conference. In most instances, I've met member states that say we don't work with civil society. We have the prerogative for development on the continent. If development on the African continent is to be a success, the partnership between government and civil society is key. It is for this reason that us at the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa is working with civil society to pursue the emancipation of women, the empowerment of the women on the continent, and the development of the whole continent.
The delegates also said the conference provided a credible platform for women in Africa to steer political and eco-destiny of their respective countries.
I'm actually very excited at seeing the number of women in there. It means that the whole issue of leadership as concerning the African continent is very important and paramount to women.
Well, I suppose it's really too early to say yet, but it seems to be, it's really exciting though, and very interesting from what we could gather. I think at the end of the day, we will end up with a lot of information that we will be able to utilize in order to enhance the progress of women generally.
I'm indeed happy and elated as we organize this in our little Gambia, but very successful Gambia. Because of the leadership we have. We are always proud as Gambian women, as I always say, because if you had the keynote address of Her Excellency the Vice President, which was read by the Deputy Speaker, outlining the achievement of Gambian women under the leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Sir Professor Alaji Dr. Yaya AJJ Jammeh. And you see that the conference, African women are here. And you heard what the MC said when she was making her conclusion, that she even wants to be a Gambian because of what President Jammeh is doing for us. You also heard what the UNECA said. And all these achievements that we should be very proud of. And we just see how we should consolidate them and come together and network with other African women, not only in the sub-region, but the whole of Africa.
It is a magnificent forum for the fact that it is bringing African women together. And like always the saying goes, women together can make a difference. And I feel with this forum, it can really make a difference. The fact is that we, the women, know our problems, and we can only help to develop when we